This is going to be talking about third ball over. So there's a couple different ways in which our athletes are going to hit the third ball over. We obviously want to stress 3 contacts at all times when we're training them in our gym. So the first thing we have is a pass over. The second thing we would have would be an overhead pass over. And then the third thing would be some sort of attack. So this is going to be either a down ball where we're on the ground or an attack where we're jumping and hitting the ball. So overhead pass over is pretty simple. We're not going to show it. It's the same exact mechanics as if we were overhead passing the first ball on our side. So we have our hands up, send the ball over the net. If we're forearm passing the ball over, it's going to be a little bit different. So let's show, just go base position forward first. So if I'm teaching this athlete how to pass the ball on a free ball or a serve or defense, I'm going to tell her that I want the ball in the middle of her body. I want her arms out in front, put together, and then freeze towards target. If she's going to pass a ball over the net, I want to change her body to move her to the side, and now I'm going to teach her to drop the inside shoulder and to pass the ball over the net like this. The reason we do this is because this is a much better way to get the ball over the net with power that is still using the right technique and the right form. We don't want to train the athletes to be facing forward and to pass the ball over, because this is going to make them want to swing their arms really high to get that ball over with power. By turning them to the side and dropping their shoulder, they can still use their lower body and not a lot of platform movement to bend, to load and unload and freeze on the ball. So depending on where the ball's coming from, your athlete might turn the other way, but we really want to stress turning to the side, dropping a shoulder, and then load and unload to pass the ball over versus straight onto the net and swinging the ball over with our arms. So that would be our third ball over using our forearm. Third ball over using our overhead is the same as our first contact. If the ball's high enough to do it, they can use their hands. Now in most cases, as the athletes get older, especially our 5th and 6th graders in the league, if the ball's high enough on the third ball, they're probably going to want to do a down ball. So for the athlete here, we're going to tell them that a down ball is when they're standing on the ground and they're just stepping and swinging. It's going to look pretty similar to the serve, except that our arm is not going to freeze up top. It's going to follow through pass. So if this athlete's playing in the game and she's preparing to hit a down ball, she's going to turn her shoulders to be open where the ball's facing from, to have her hitting arm farthest from the net and her non-hitting arm closest to the net, ready to hit the ball and help her hit the ball over. So as she prepares, we say our arms go back, both of them as far as they can go. Our arms come up, and then our arms open into our hitting position. So arms back, arms up, arms open all happens together. And when we're in this hitting position, you can see our athlete. So our wrist is always higher than our elbow is always higher than our shoulder, and our left arm is pointing up towards the ball. So if I'm running a drill in practice to work on this before I toss the ball, I'm going to make sure that the athlete shows me back, up, open, and then I would toss. When we get into gameplay, we want them to start thinking about this preparation as the second contact's happening, so then they're ready to hit that down ball. Same thing with the serve. Their weight's in their back foot, because there's going to be a step forward that's a weight transfer. So as she steps forward, her shoulder's going to start going up towards the ball first, then her elbow, then her wrist, and as she does this, you can see she's getting this torso rotation of her shoulders switching positions, right? Basically, this shoulder is going to end where this shoulder started as she steps and turns, and then her arm's going to go past her hip. So if we go full speed on it, we're going to go arms back, up, open, and then step and swing on the down ball. So we're not just getting power from our arm, we're getting power from our lower body, the weight transfer, our core by our turn, and then our arm speed as it goes past. So this would be if the ball is high enough, and probably the hitting skill that our athletes in this league do most often. As they advance more, we want to work them into an attack with footwork and a jump, but this is probably the most often hit we see right now at this age, because it takes a little bit less prep than the full attack. And if the ball's high enough, we want to encourage them to do this down ball attack more often than they set it over. And if it's low, that's when we turn them to the side, drop this shoulder, and then they can pass, load and unload to pass the ball over.